Christy has a question. Doesn't deep ripping compact soil with machinery just compact things further? What am I misunderstanding about this anti-compaction strategy? You're decompacting because compaction's happened. Right? So you're relieving it, you're conditioning the soil quickly. It'll deep rip itself with forest and trees if you want to wait a generation or two possibly. I mean, it's going to take a while and it's going to have trees all over it that might not be the trees of your choice or what are very useful to you. But to go through sensitively on contour with narrow deep ripping tines that cut through the soil and almost close up again later as you pass, you're going behind the wheels of the tractor, so whatever compaction there is with the tractor is mitigated by the deep ripping tines that are coming through behind. So the only reason you deep rip to decompact is because there's been a problem, and if you have to do it again, it's because you've made a mistake and you need to deep rip again. But it's very quick, it's very efficient, you cover a lot of area, it's not very expensive because of that. So I'm sitting on a bed former here. These are 14-inch Alabama wing tines here, and they flick soil up to the main crop garden beds. We don't always use them because we don't always need to reform. Every now and again, we put our chickens over our garden and they sort of destroy the form of the garden beds, and we go through and bed form again. We're putting the chickens over because we've got pest cycles we want to break, there's fertility we want to build quickly. Most of the time we can just get away with a U-bar, but if it really gets a problem, we've got a lot of weeds, we let it go fallow, you know, we need to recover it. We might actually cut all the weeds down, put the chickens through, we might actually rotary hoe just once and then bed form it back up. There's that much fertility in a main crop garden with 12 years worth of compost going on at hundreds of cubic meters an acre equivalent. But this machine, these tines run right behind the tractor tires. So the tractor's going along right in front of the tine and it's picking up soil behind the tires and throwing it either side to a bed. Our garden beds are about this wide. So it does throw either side, but it forms a bed between the tines. It doesn't really matter there's a bit of compaction on the footpath because our feet are going to be compaction. So I think we have to be sensible about our sensitivity to land. Yes, it's great to be sensitive, of course, and I think permaculture people are oversensitive. And I've noticed over the years working many acres of land, I could be a bit harder and get away with it. And get a better result. I can graze the cattle harder when I'm cell grazing and it looks like I'm compacting soil, but I'm actually imprinting. I come round on the next cycle and that cell is better than the cells that had less impact. So Bill writes in the manual that areas of heavy impact, medium impact, light impact, no impact, as a mosaic are the most fertile. So you can call it disturbance, heavy disturbance, medium disturbance, light disturbance, and no disturbance, mosaicked with an edge between them across a landscape, is potentially the most productive type of land use. These are things that until you actually get on the ground and try this, you don't necessarily observe it. And it may take a few seasons and a bit of intense involvement before you really see it. But I think it's perfectly okay to be sensitive about compaction, but it's also sensible to be practical about what's possible and what's more efficient when it comes to production.